So we know that his coming has to do with the destruction of the buildings of the temple complex. Not just the Beit HaMikdash, but the temple complex. His coming, not the galut. What is the galut? The diaspora, the exile of the Jewish people. In the first time the temple was destroyed, it brought about the 2,000-year galut, or exile, of the Jewish people. But that's not the context of Matthew 24. The context of Matthew 24 is not the exile, but the coming, the return, and the regreso of Messiah Yeshua. Otra vez. Again. That's the topic. The first time the temple was destroyed was a sign of the galut, the diaspora, or the exile of Judah. But the second time the temple will be destroyed is a sign of Yeshua's what? Coming. And Yeshua said to them, take heed in the meantime. Until you see those stones and the temple complex destroyed, in the meantime, take heed, because you're a candidate for deception. You love Yeshua? You're born again? You're washed in his blood? Bingo, you're a target of the enemy. Before you were saved, I didn't believe in no Yahweh. I didn't believe in no devil, because I was his disciple, and I was blind to who my pappy was. Guess what? There's good news and bad news. When you get saved, you get to meet the love of Yahweh manifested in his blessed Son, his only begotten Son, Yeshua. But there's bad news. You also get to meet the devil. But because before that, you didn't know there was a devil. Then you get saved, and you're under the attack of the enemy. Then you know there's a devil. So that's good news and bad news. When you get saved, you get to meet Abba Yahweh and the Father of lies. You get to meet them both. Amen. Now you know there's a Satan, because you're a child of Yahweh and you have a mark on your chest. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Moshiach, and deceive many. The actual Aramaic reads differently. The Aramaic reads, many shall come in my name, that is not really my name, saying, I'm anointed. Not I am the anointed or the Mashiach. I'm anointed, he's anointed, she's anointed, even though I'm gay, even though I'm homosexual, even though I live a double life, even though I'm a closet homosexual, I'm anointed. So many will come not just saying, I am the Moshiach, many will come saying, I'm anointed, but they're not anointed. So Yeshua is saying, be careful, because all these people who claim to be under the anointing are more like under the annoying than the anointing. Did you ever meet anybody who claimed to be under the anointing, but they were really under the annoying? They had a very annoying personality. And they claimed to be ministering through the anointing, but there was a lot of very annoying people. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Moshiach, and shall deceive many. Many deceivers will come. In context, where will they come? They will come saying, I am anointed, and they will come to the, what is the topic here? What is the subject? The Beit HaMikdash. And not only the Beit HaMikdash, the buildings of the temple. Specifically, out of all these anointed ones, or self-anointed ones, will come, some of them will come to the temple buildings on Mount Moriah, Har Moriah. What does Moriah mean? Yah, Moreh, Yah teaches. Where will Yahweh teach? In the age to come, in the Olam Haba, from Yerushalayim. That's why it's Moriah, the mountain where Yah is the Moreh, or the teacher. He told Abraham that Yeshua was coming by commanding him to kill Yitzchak. He was Moreh Yah. He was teaching him about the coming of Yeshua. As Yeshua said to the Yehudim, Abraham rejoiced to see my day, and he saw it, and he was glad. You're not 50 years old, and you've seen Abraham. And he said, before Abraham was, and yet, Asher, yet. They will claim to come in God's name, or Allah's name, by establishing sanctuaries of false worship on the soon-to-be restored Temple Mount. Their message is, I am anointed, and this is the anointed place. Be not deceived. Why? Because many are coming to these buildings that are going to be destroyed over and over and over again, a recurring prophecy. And when they come to these destroyed buildings on this complex of Moriah, they will claim to be anointed, speaking for and in the name of God, but not Yahweh, the God being Allah, the God of this age. 2 Corinthians 4:4. He is the personification of the false God of this age, which is why he needs a literal throne in Bet Tagarma, Revelation 2. He has his throne in Turkey. Isn't it interesting in all the current events? How many have been following the current events over the last few days? Isn't it interesting? Out of all the nations, they want to have a peacekeeping force in the Lebanese-Israeli border, but nobody wants to give troops because they don't want their troops shot at. Only one nation has so far been willing to send troops to guard the peace or the war currently between Lebanon and Israel. Well, yeah, you know who that nation is? Turkey. We have been telling you that the anti-Messiah, Israel will accept peacekeepers from Turkey and the anti-Mashiach from Turkey. In Hanukkah, Antiochus Epiphanes, Antiochus, one of the four Greek empires, the Seleucid dynasty, produced Antiochus, Antiochus, and he came from Turkey. And from that place, from those four horns will come Daniel's little horn from the same area of the Seleucid dynasty, or Antiochus Epiphanes. Today in the news, don't take my word for it, only Turkey is willing to send their soldiers to keep peace because they know Israel considers Turkey moderate, secular Muslims who are willing to be the peacemakers. Anti-Mashiach, or Mashiach Neged, against the Mashiach, Mashiach Neged, will agree to be the ultimate peacekeeper, and we see that today in the news.
Yes, it's true.
That's where anti-Mashiach will come from. He will come from Turkey. And don't you ever forget it.
Turkey.
And that's Rome also, because that's Constantinople, modern-day Istanbul, the capital of Constantine, who introduced Easter and Christmas, and the capital of the Ottoman Empire that the world knows very little about, but it was such a superpower, it lasted for 600 years. It was that beast with a wound in its head, and that wound is miraculously healed to be reborn again in the end of days. The last world empire was the Turkish Ottoman Empire. It was a Muslim empire. And if you don't think they were a beast then, that's being revived now, ask the Armenian Christians. Over a million Armenian Christians were killed by the Turkish Ottoman Empire, the Islamic beast that is now being revived in the last days. Do a little homework. Research Armenian Christians. See how many of those are still alive. They were wiped out by the Ottoman Empire, almost wiped out. So Yeshua said, be careful that no man deceive you. Many will come to the Temple Mount where these buildings will be destroyed. Not one stone will be left on another. Saying, I am anointed to speak for Allah. But the final messenger of God, or the God of this age, Allah, the ultimate God of this age, demonic God of this age, will also claim to be anointed, but not merely anointed, but the anointed one or the holy one. Listen, he will make this declaration definitive according to Daniel 9:27 by stopping the reinstituted animal sacrifices in the temple, then by walking a few hundred yards away to the wing or the kanaf of the temple, and there in the wing or the southwest corner of the Temple Mount, he puts forth the lie of 2 Thessalonians 2. We'll read that in a second. The lie of 2 Thessalonians 2 that he is the Almighty, when he is a liar, because in Daniel 8:38 says, he himself, the anti-Mashiach, or the Mashiach Neged, worships the God of force, or the God of jihad. He tries to make the world think that he is the Almighty and speaking in the name and for the Almighty, but in secret he worships Allah, the only God of jihad. Read Daniel 11:38. He tries to make you think he is the Almighty, but in secret he worships the God of jihad. Baruch Hashem, Yahweh.